What?
I hit end stream instead of studio mode.
Don't!
We're here, I promise! I was so professional, and then I hit the wrong button. I am your dungeon master, Pixie. Clearly a professional streamer. This is Endless Wonder. It is brought to you by the world of Warehouse 13. I'm going to put a thing in chat right now. We do not own the rights to the... Stream Elements has been real drunk today, so I'm just going to, tell you what it will tell you in 10 minutes. We do not own the rights to Warehouse 13. This is fan content only. It is inspired by the Sci-Fi Network show of the same name, and it takes place in between the finale of the last episode and the epilogue that takes place a few years in the future in the finale of the last episode. There's an indeterminate number of years gap that we are aiming to fill with our own fun story-driven content. This is a 5e compatible system called Ultramodern that is by Deus Ex Machina Games. So you're not going to see clerics and warlocks here. You're going to see techies and spies. And with that, let's get some introductions going, starting with Evie.
Hi, I'm Ray. I'm playing Levy. I am now, I guess, technically ex-Air Force, now a warehouse agent. I never start my day without my big-ass cup of coffee because don't talk to me until this is finished. And I am a go in, get it done, save the people.
Oh, yeah. And I'm Matthew. I think I'm next. Even if I'm not, I'm doing it. I am playing Gareth Sullivan, a CIA agent, ex-CIA agent, who will sneak in and break in and steal all of your things, and you won't know what hit you. And that's it.
Hi, Meg.
Full stop. We haven't met her yet. It's okay.
Correct.
We haven't met her yet. We haven't had the chance.
It gets worse.
Krista, yeah.
Thank
there
you.
Go.
Hi, I'm playing Jack King. Tiny, but fierce, with a penchant for practical clothing and wildly impractical hair. Currently in a coma. That's
What
where
a great way! What a great way to start off a stream.
That's the best inn in the world. For those of you who do not see at the bottom of the screen, you can influence the game should you so choose. You can add luck to the agent's luck pool, which allows them to re-roll dice. Might be helpful for getting some of our players out of their comas. You can give the agents a clue. You can give the agents an artifact. It may or may not be helpful. Or you can throw the agents a plot twist, all by tipping and donating those amounts that I have thrown up. Yeah, see, there you go. The fact that you never... listen, eventually Stream Elements will tell you where to tip. And how to donate to those pools. It's real hard running a professional stream when the professional streaming software doesn't want a professional. But...
oh, robots.
While we give it a chance to catch up, let me catch you all up on Endless Wonder. Over the course of the past couple of episodes, we have seen what should have been just a singular, simple snag bag and tag artifact turn into a relatively complicated mission involving splitting the party up and sending half of them to Prince Edward Island to this mysterious literary auction, and half of them to investigate the Peter Pan Theater deep in the vaults of the warehouse itself. During that time, a now former agent, the good doctor, turned traitor, and turned traitor, and did in fact betray the entire cast crew, unbeknownst to most of the cast actually, which was a lot of fun for me. Unbeknownst to me until 10 minutes before it happened. He did it very sexily. Well done. It was great. It was great. Dr. Chase, gone but never forgotten. We are eventually going to find out exactly how successful his escape was. However, he did leave Claudia with a choice in stripping Jack left alone in the Peter Pan vault from the one thing that could keep her safe from her own memories within this Peter Pan theater, where the shadows of your past can creep after and try to distract or destroy you or drag you back into childhood and regress you to the point where you harm yourself. He gave Claudia a choice. You can stop me or you can save her. However, while this was happening, he also sent our A-team, Evie and Gareth, who are on Prince Edward Island at this mysterious auction thrown by the Alexandria Collective, something none of them have ever heard of so far. He threw them a red herring clue, telling them, hey, you need to search for this hand-drawn map from J.M. Barrie's childhood, or adulthood, or whatever. Drawn by the Llewellyn Davies children. You need to search for this hand-drawn map. Instead of the reality, which was you need to search for the compass. Our two have been investigating where the artifacts are stored under the guise of handymen there for the hotel at this resort, Delray by the Sea, which we can send you all a page to so you can see where we're all talking about during this. It's a lot of fun. Didn't plan to have to come back to these tabs so often, but we are still in this episode with this. It's been a day for these people. It's been a month for us. We ended with Jack unconscious, Claudia trying to decide whether to race to save her or to stop who has now been revealed to be a thief and a traitor. And Evie and Gareth sweet-talking their way out of being caught by a security guard who has come back to find them supposedly finishing up their job. But we're not going to start with them. Out in the hotel, on the lawn, there's a massive tent set up like for weddings. It leads into the dining room where the auction will begin in 10 minutes. The staff has been calling. There's gentle music playing, and people dressed like the elite, but often behaving like excitable college students at their first party, are mixing and mingling. There are free cocktails, there are hors d'oeuvres being passed. Everything has a clever literary name when asked. There are no proper menus, but the staff has been instructed to memorize these clever names, and by God, they will tell you what they are. At the slightest provocation. Because they were paid for this event, and they want to do it well. They came with the hotel. They did not come with the Alexandria Collective. The name that Helene has heard whispered around by now from the other guests. Not anything anyone had ever heard of. It wasn't even stamped on the name of your invitation. But Helene was sent here, as well as some of the others, as a representative of a larger company. In her case, she was sent here as a representative of, I have it, don't tell me, the Montevello College. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Oh, thank God. As the Montevello College.
I believe it's college, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna say yes.
One of the many, many collegiate or university institutes who are represented here. As a matter of fact, Helene sees some friends in the crowd, others who she recognizes from perhaps early schooling days or perhaps networking events since. But what is Helene doing at this time in the 10 minutes before she's allowed to actually start the auction and join, and before it begins? And what does she look like?
Helene Evers she's about 6 feet tall. A little lanky, a little thin. She's got an undershave and just this flop of hair. At the moment, it's lavender, but we'll see. We'll see. She's in this like very oversized, fluffy, academic-esque cardigan with the leather patches on it, and underneath is all black Like the cardigan is very like tan, khaki, like it's very grandma comfy looking. And underneath, she's in a black lace crop halter top, leather pants, and black Doc Martens, which she's always wearing. They're remarkably worn. She asked for a whiskey, was asked by the server if she wanted the Hemingway, and just sort of started cracking things, and said, fine, just, yeah. So she's got a rocks glass with whiskey, and she's looking around. The two of the people that that she knows there, one of them is actually also from Breadloaf, which is the father umbrella school from Montevallo. He's also working on getting his doctorate in a different arts program. His name is Lucas. And her ex-girlfriend Jessica from when they were in undergrad together. It was amicable, but they're both roaming around.
Amazing. So you good. It is what is Jessica studying, by the way?
Oh God, I haven't really caught up with her. We both went in. We got our BAs in literature.
Yeah.
And she really liked Jane Austen and English Gothic classics. So maybe that.
She you notice she's not subtle about drifting towards you. She's not doing a good job of hiding it. Although she clearly thinks she is. As she eventually sidles over and, well, I'll be damned, they let you out of the classroom.
Oh, well, it's good to see you too. She does the air kiss.
So,
Why are you here?
I suppose same reason as you. My school thought that I would be the ideal candidate for.
Really? Oh, okay. No, that's interesting.
So
I didn't know. I didn't
takes
realize they had like handkerchiefs and doilies for sale today. My bad.
She rolls her eyes and takes a shot. And she's gonna say something. You could tell she was about to say something snarky, and then with the. You mean you haven't seen the auction list? Darling, they've got things for sale that no one should be spending money on, and yet our schools were really eager to send us out here, weren't they? I mean, look at this. She pulls out of her pocket a pamphlet, and you see she started marking things as though intent to bid, but she hastily folds that over, so you can't really see necessarily what she's planning on bidding on.
Oh, can I try?
But, yes, you can, absolutely. Please, make your first roll of the game.
Fuck this, I'm gonna try.
Oh, yeah, you are.
What is that?
I have to open up my character sheets because
Why did I just put my
always
D20?
forget what fucking skills I need. Always. Oh god, what?
What? I can't just laugh?
You can. Hold on. I like that it Stream Elements just told everyone we're live again. Good job, buddy. 1 second while I find a character sheet. Because, for some reason...
Yeah, Stream Elements was being weird for a minute. It was telling me that you guys, it was still going, but it said that your stream had ended.
Oh, yeah, no, Stream Elements has been drunk all day. And also I accidentally hit end stream, remember? So it was correct.
Well, no, even when we came back,
yeah,
it was
it's
still
just,
saying
it's just late.
It's just late now.
Yeah. Okay, I need you to please make me a perception check.
Mm-hmm. 3?
Yeah, her 17 sleight of hand is gonna kick your ass.
Anything would kick my freeze ass. Come on, man. Yeah.
So she does manage to just tuck it away, and hold it just so, and she's pointing. She's like, they say they've got. It's not even like Mark Twain's journals. It's like Mark Twain's shoes. They've got hats from people who are not even famous for wearing hats. It'd be one thing if it was like Dr. Seuss's cat in the, but no, it's just like.
She moves so that the paper's between them and takes her very gently by the arms and looks at her for a moment. Jessica, it's important to me that you know there was never a cat that wore a hat.
Well, thank you so much for spelling that out for me. It's almost hard to imagine that I was topping our class and you were second with logic like that.
I know, especially because you can't top for shit. So, I'm going to go back.
So much.
I was invited. I'm going to go back to looking over. Is there anything that sort of... Have I seen this list? Is this list available to Megan?
They have them sitting around. The list is available to Megan. If you had chosen to peruse it, she may have just thought she was showing you something cool. She may have been using it as an excuse to get close to you. You have no idea.
I don't think she knew that this is very much her first auction.
Yeah. But I need you to make a perception check again.
Well, I don't know that that's possible. I'll be very honest with you. I dropped it. Oh shit!
That means it's a 20.
Obviously.
That's what that means.
100% it is.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm so nervous. Oh no, that's not a 20. That's a 10. God damn it! I'm so sorry. Okay, but don't fuck this up. 15.
Yep. All right. For a moment, it seems as though she's leaning in to kiss you on the cheek goodbye before she departs for her friend group again.
Mm-hmm.
Until you feel something drop in your pocket. And she leans over and I know I always played the fool because it was fun. Got me a lot of attention. But right now, I promise there's things going on you're going to want my help with. And she slips off.
Mm-hmm. What's in my pocket?
Do you pull it out right there, or do you go find somewhere to...
pulling it out,
Yeah. You feeling
It's
around.
like those...
Feeling around, yeah.
Yeah.
She has... It feels like paper. It just feels like paper. It's not it was not her invitation. She still had that, but it just feels like paper.
I'll go outside and I'll give it like a hot second, and then I'll casually drift outside.
Drifting NPCs. So you leave the tent.
That's what we do.
You leave the tent to peruse the new papers that have entered your person. Nope.
Yeah.
That have entered your pocket.
The papers are inside her.
She was really good.
What them hands do, Jessica? What them hands do?
Who said she couldn't top?
What the camera sees, but you do not recognize, because why would you care about them, is Gareth and Evie speeding from the cottage. It took longer than planned to explain yourself away from this man. It took so long you don't know that you have time to get back to your room and change to look presentable for the auction. Goddamn, you're gonna try, though. Are you? We cut to the two of you.
Yeah. I would like to. Although actually, as we were walking, he's gonna look at his watch, see how much time they have, realize that they are running low, and as we're speeding towards our room, okay, either both of us can try and get ready, or you can try and get ready because you're better at talking to people, and I can stay in this and I can try and sneak around. Thoughts?
Yeah, let's try to do that. I think I can talk my way through things, and then that way you can kind of be in the background, not
All right.
Pulling
Sounds
attention.
good. Sounds good.
Multiple up. The
okay.
both of us trying.
My ultimate challenge. Every single one of you is doing something completely fucking
You're welcome.
Split the party 5 ways, motherfucker!
Yes. Yes. You thought that we were going to be splitting 2 ways. We're splitting 4.
So many
One for
ways.
each of us.
And my thing. I've got Claudia. So, like,
Yep.
you know, a whole everything. So.
I will go with Evie towards the room. And if it looks like we have time, I will also try and throw on a different button up. But if we are running close,
You are
okay,
so
then
close.
okay,
Like-
then instead I'll break off as soon as I feel comfortable leaving Evie.
Yeah, like,
And I'll head towards the auction place.
yeah, people have started to gather. You can see people starting to, like, from pockets and different rooms and different little people who've been sitting in the lobby discussing what they plan to bid on, already calling and saying, there's things on here that look ridiculous, are you sure? Or people who are already on the phone excited about some things on the list, right? And they're starting to flock, and you're like,
Okay.
we're not going to, someone has to be here just in case, in case someone bids on something before you see, one of you needs to be there to see who bids on it.
Yep. Perfect.
And
Yeah, head back to the room. I'll
yeah.
stick around here. Keep your Farnsworth on you, though.
Evie, what? Look.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I am going to, like, for my outfit, since we're actually going, like, full undercover, and I know that you saw me, being used to trying to be undercover, I have a, like, quick wig that I can throw on,
Nice.
and then I'm going to have a nice, long black asymmetrical dress, but then obviously knowing that these are, like, librarian types, I have, a little red cardigan that I put over top of it, and button it at the top, and put some thick, dark-rimmed glasses on as well.
Nice.
I just felt like looking.
Nice. I want Matthew to make a, first tell me where you're going, actually, and then I have options.
Okay, so people are gathering towards, because they don't have a big hall, you said. So is the
It's like the
actual
dining
auction
hall.
happening
It's in the dining hall.
it is
Yes.
happening in the dining
They've-
hall? Then I'm going towards the dining hall.
Yeah. That is why they put all of the, like, hors d'oeuvres and drinks out on the lawn
Outside.
in the tent.
Yep.
So they've cleared off this whole dining area. It's just all
Perfect.
Yeah.
Then
Still
I'm
have
going
drinks.
to-
They still have a bar. The bar is still open.
Okay.
But everything else is chairs are just rows now, and there's a stage
Is-
system set up.
Are there any, as I approach, hotel employees walking around still with hors d'oeuvres or doing anything like that in the dining hall?
Not in the dining hall. The only employees who are in the dining hall at present, because people have started to come sit, are the drink staff, essentially.
Okay.
And a couple of basically ushers who are there to keep a track of their auction staff. They are there to make sure that the people who say they got it, the paddle numbers who say they won, are the people who are actually going to come buy it. So they are not dressed like hotel staff, actually.
I figured. Yep, since they're auction staff.
They are auction staff. They are make a perception check.
You got it. Don't fail me now. That's not bad. Oh, that's not bad at all. I forgot that I'm good at perception. A 24.
You immediately recognize the hieroglyphic symbol on their tie pins, as matching the cartouche stamped on the important crates.
Got it.
They are tiny. They are well polished. They are a couple of them have matching cufflinks, but they are all sporting some version of that somewhere, whether it is a tie pin, the cufflinks, occasionally a necklace on the women. And with that good of a perception check, you notice a couple of the drink staff are a couple of the drink staff seem to be favorites of these auction staff. They're not wearing anything overt, but they seem to gravitate toward a couple of particular individuals who are very kind, but more familiar with them, almost as if they've done events here before, or they recognize the symbol if it's a stonemason thing or Freemasons thing, and they're not sure. Like, you don't know, but you know that like 4 of the bar staff or wait staff
are friendly.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. As a note, as I approach and I'm in the hallway, I do take off my name badge.
Nice.
Because if I am interacting with actual employees, they will know that I'm not Jonathan or whatever the fuck my name was of the person's name tag that I took. So I'm taking that off. Okay, do I see are they about ready to start?
Yeah. I'll
as I'm approaching, I'll just try and blend in. Honestly, I just kind of want to blend in and see if I can look like a wait staff that is just hanging around, but looks busy.
Yeah. Make a performance check.
Okay. That's 13.
Let me. Yeah, actually, all right. One of the management is real busy and real stressed, and you look like you're doing nothing, and how dare you? And he shoves a pitcher of ice water into your chest, and will you please go make sure Mrs. McCormick isn't just completely sauced already? All right, she's
like
every time
the
she's
McCormicks?
Here, that. Do you not know? She's one of our highest paying. I'll do it myself.
Sorry, I'm new. I apologize. I'll point me in the right direction.
She's the old bat who won't shut up about how she's 15th in line for the throne over there. And there is in fact a woman who is just showboating. You can see she's still outside in the tent, but the moment he points her out, you're like, oh, obviously her. She is like clearly wearing like. She's just trying to show that she's very wealthy.
Sure.
She is just a show pony herself.
Okay.
I don't want anyone to know that I am very close to the throne, but also, I need them to definitely be aware.
I talk about.
And she's not even saying which throne, just a throne. Like, she never clarifies.
The throne.
Throne.
Got it. Okay.
And it's some tiny fucking country. Genovia or somewhere. And she is, she's ready to be the plot of a Hallmark movie as a villain. Like, she is ready. Mrs. McCormick and her, the poor guests who have been roped into talking to her. She is clearly like 8 mimosas in and is not good at it. As you are sent to hydrate her and realize that it is a good job to blend in if you actually have something to do. We cut back to Helene, who has opened this, it is what looks like one of the invitations, or not even like the list of artifacts or items up for bid or auction items. It's an invitation, not unlike the one that your university received. Same wording, same verbiage, same, a wealthy benefactor would appreciate your presence of your most educated, and what's the word I'm looking for? Intuitive, keen-eyed, keen-minded, discerning, thank you, that's the fucking word, thank you. Your most educated and discerning individuals, to bid on items of great value, both intrinsic and sentimental. And we would very much welcome your presence at Delray on the Sea, Prince Edward Island on this day, you know, etc., etc., etc. But lightly, like one of those pencil rubbings, where you rub over something else.
Mm-hmm.
There's the imprint of, it wasn't on yours. This is clearly something hastily that she has done.
Mm-hmm.
That is a room number. And invite the worthy is what it says.
Mm.
And that's it. She's giving you some kind of hint. What she can do. What her motives are, you have no idea. But she is sharing something she has found with you.
Yeah.
The auction, however, is about to begin.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna go inlay pocket. She's gonna down her Hemingway and go get another one.
Yeah, wise.
Yeah.
Is, out of curiosity,
Yeah.
since she is downing her Hemingway and getting a replacement, how is she holding her liquor? Like, is she
She's
holding it
she's
well,
a
or
pro.
is she
She's
looking
fine.
a little bit
No.
looking a little
She's-
bit tipsy? Because I
You have
a
water.
pitcher of water that I am because listen, Mrs. McCormick is a gem, and I fully plan on doing that gay guy thing where old women love us.
Oh, yeah.
So I fully plan on doing that. But also, I do want to keep an eye out for other very intoxicated guests that I can also meander towards.
You are not, she is not intoxicated, however, I rolled my special die and I rolled the EV. I rolled the EV, which is the natural 20.
Aw.
Yes, I love it. You do literally bump into one another, though. As he is turning around to freshen up someone's drink, and you are passing inside. Just the shoulder check.
Oh God, sure. I'm sorry.
No, my apologies. Do you need any water?
No, thanks.
All right. Well, if you need any water, let me know, I guess. Yep.
She doesn't give a fuck. All right.
Nope.
Fair. Nor should she.
As they
Water?
the
Fish fucking it.
the crowd is ushered inside. The crowd is ushered inside. The last of the drinks are downed, and the waitstaff outside begins to pack up the hors d'oeuvres. As a couple of the auction staff do a quick sweep to make sure everyone's inside, they look over to the second cottage. One of them flashes something in a flashlight from his pocket. He gets an answering flash in return. Nods at the other one. Alright, he's ready. They close the doors so that only the people in the auction room are... there's no more access from the outside. He shuts those doors, and they hear the banging of the gavel of the auctioneer calling everyone to order as we cut back to the warehouse, where Claudia has just received this message from Dr. Chase. She has immediately snapped into, the warehouse has been compromised, but also these agents are babies. And they can't do this alone, and I know where, and you get the feeling that if it were any other part of the warehouse, even the Dark Vault, she might not be so eager to help. But the Peter Pan Theater has been a source of trauma for many a person and an agent, and it is dangerous. And she saw what happened last time Jack was left there alone. She is cursing herself the whole time, hating that she has to make this choice, but slamming buttons as she goes that have set off defense mechanisms. She doesn't know where he is. She knows he knows too much, but she is sending pre-programmed artifacts after him. And even she does not know if they're going to survive. Even she has no idea if the animated suits of armor from King Arthur's court are actually going to do anything. She does not know if the duplicate labyrinth tunnels in the David Bowie exhibit are going to stop him or slow him down at all. She has no clue, but she's gonna try. She even goes and twists a dial on one wall that expands the borders of the Escher Vault so that it stretches out and takes other carefully calculated aisles and expands them into that sort of nightmarish, you get lost if you don't know the way place. It's not everything in the warehouse, but it's enough that if he's close to any of them, he may get lost, and it sort of changes the positioning of a lot of the aisles around, hoping to delay him. But in the meantime, she is racing to the Peter Pan Theater. She has grabbed her own protective gear, her own boring books. She is hanging on to them desperately. She runs through the door. She rolls terribly to check for shadows, and therefore just enters. How did Jack's parents die? And when?
That is actually undetermined. So, I put down that they went on a trip and they were told that there was she was told there was an accident and that they were dead.
Yeah, that's more than enough. How old was she?
14.
That is the memory she is currently stuck in. Over and over is getting the phone call, getting the message, getting the however she received that information. Over and over, she is reliving one of her worst, possibly her worst memory, as the lights in the Peter Pan Theater, usually bright stage lights, there just to help, have begun to be clouded over by escaped Pan shadows. They can't completely block them off yet, but they can flicker, and they can dull the light. They act like gels, and darken, and shade over these massive floodlights. And Claudia is not aware of what is happening in your head, but she knows you are crying and twitching, and she knows that it was hard enough to get you out last time. Just, damn him! I'm gonna kill him if I ever see him again. She grabs you by the legs and starts pulling you out. Because as far as she knows, we figured out what the artifact is. It's the compass. She knows. She's like, they don't have to be in here doing research anymore. Just get her out. Get her out. She's going to start dragging you out. First strength roll failed very badly. Second one succeeded. But with the first one, with the failure of the first one, you are stuck in there long enough that you drop into a deeper level of your own memory. In a way worse, because you back up and your subconscious starts trying to fix it. Your subconscious starts trying to unwrite this tragedy. And every time it happens again, you jump back farther on this constant loop of trying to fix a mistake until it takes. And you are trapped in a psychological nightmare of trying new things to stop it and failing. Over and over and over, as Claudia drags you out of the Peter Pan Theater.
So, like, blaming myself and being like, well, if only I'd stopped them from going on that trip, and they keep them on the trip, and then they, like, get in a car crash going to the grocery store instead, and then, and it's like...
Yeah, it is a constant deluge of As your brain tries to think itself out of watching this over and over again, it puts on the play. As long as you lay on the stage, it is a show. You're watching yourself do it. But the longer you're stuck there, the more it becomes you living it yourself. Claudia has no idea. But I need you to make a wisdom save.
22.
Thank God. Okay. You stop just shy of, psychologically, you stop just shy of not knowing that this is not real. This time, because it was such a rapid unconscious, you were dropped into a show setting immediately because he knocked you out like that. It's not the same as last time. This time he forced you into an unconscious state. It might have been your saving grace, because if you'd gotten there naturally the way the theater likes to take you, it would have been one thing. But you fell asleep in the theater. And that does weird things to you. You just start seeing the show a little bit. So you've lived through this, watching it put on like a play, like shadow puppets. And now you're playing through it as though you're doing the play. But you're aware it's play. You're aware, still, that it's not quite real. As Claudia finally manages on the third... Yep, thank God. I was like, let me roll first and find out. Manages 19 hours later. On the third try to get you all the way up those stairs. She can't get you over her shoulder. You've got too much gear on, and she is incapable.
I'm short, but I'm beefy.
And
so.
she's just small. She is a small. She manages to drag you barely out the door. Pulls a, she has a, safety measure in place that, Dr. Chase did not know about. Maybe he wouldn't have done it anyway. Of, essentially a stage door floodlight that she slams on the wall as you exit, and it scatters any shadows that tried to follow you out, at least in the door frame, as she slams the stage door behind you. And as you sit under the light, she looks for the site where he shot you to see if she can figure out what he shot you with before she can figure out how to pull you out of it. Evie has just finished getting dressed. And is making your way down to the auction hall. You, there are some stragglers. There are still a few stragglers. However, the auction has already started. Most of the rest of the hotel is quiet. Everyone is here. You can hear them, though, as you're walking. It is loud. It is an echoey room. It is all wood paneling and great acoustics. It's made for toasts, you know? And you can hear a gentleman calling out items. He's first up on the list, the toy soldiers of Jane Eyre, the toy soldiers of Emily Bronte, inspired by it was the gift of he's telling this story about the toy soldiers that the Bronte sisters played with as they were a gift from their brother, and they were how they inspired their imaginary worlds. You can hear that people are bidding. You can hear as you're running that people are bidding. Inordinate amounts of money. Insane amounts of money. They're starting at 100,000. Like, they're not starting low. And people came to play. People came with budgets. People were instructed what to bid on. Matthew, what are you doing?
Was I able to get inside into the thing?
There is one back door left open for the staff to still come and go from, so because you are dressed in that, it's the only reason you're able to get in from outside. Otherwise, you would have had to go all the way around. But you have done a good enough job blending and you were outside doing waitstaff stuff when they started closing up. So you are let in through the very, very back of the dining hall, basically.
Okay.
In one door that is still guarded, but you are clearly waitstaff. They saw you working.
Yep.
No
Perfect.
reason to be concerned.
Perfect. I am trying to keep an eye out for. So earlier I'm obviously not pulling out my phone to cross-reference the pictures that I snapped of all of the inventories of the artifact boxes, but anything that I can remember that was on one of those boxes, if it is being auctioned, I'm trying to keep track of who it is that purchases it. And if there are any bidders that are bidding like crazy on a lot of stuff, I want to hover near them with drinks, with the water if they need it, that sort of thing. Trying to just keep my eye out for the big players. Then obviously I'm also trying to see where the fuck Evie is, because I fully anticipate Evie to be in here, and they aren't.
Evie, I need you to pick high or low. Just high or low.
Hi.
High.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
As you are
Okay.
racing through the hotel. You have your own bump into a stranger moment. As a tall, well-dressed, dark-skinned gentleman, carefully trimmed goatee, well-slicked hair, wearing a very, very nice, very expensive suit. He is tall, he is slender. I have a face claim for him. He is the Sheik's grandson at the end of Secondhand Lions, which is a great movie that everyone except Meg should watch because it'll make you sob. Just sob. And Sway, don't watch it either. But yeah, he is this. Come here. I'm giving you visuals because I appreciate them. You can look up Eric Balfour. Yes. Yeah. There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah, see? Yeah. That's who we're talking about right there. And I'm saving the image and putting it in chat. So that is who you run into. Is the content warning just popped up. Good job.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. Licensed image cannot be downloaded securely. I'm just trying to show people who he looks like. And he says, he's heading to, he is clearly heading somewhere with purpose. He was still wearing his sunglasses because he had just come from inside, and he, beg pardon. So sorry to have bumped into you. Were you meant to be with the auction?
Oh yeah, I was just running late. My heel broke, and so I had to go back to the room to switch my ballet slippers. And now I'm running late. And do you know if they started yet?
In fact, I am positive they did. Do you mind if I ask? Most people would be rather eager to keep an eye on the merchandise, but you are out here, shoes and all. Surely, if they were important enough to you, you could have had someone from the staff fetch them for you. Might I inquire your name and what company you came with? Oh God, Matthew's face.
Good luck.
Yes. I'm so sorry. I'm a little scatterbrained, and my brain's kind of just all over the place. I'm sorry. I'm not. I think you're such a really good look.
And he does you're really good looking. He does the look down, look back up. He does the smolder. kind of moment. Breathe. It's all right. You know, I have a feeling I'll be seeing you quite soon either way. And he slides gently, puts his hand on your back to slide past you. And continues going where he was. Do you watch him leave? Do you fucking bail?
Oh no, I'm out. But sticking to the clumsy thing, just kind of like.
Good.
But I'm out.
Good. The camera, however, sees him stop and lean back around the corner and watch you leave. His charming demeanor drops immediately. And he picks something out of his pocket that looks an awful lot like a Farnsworth. It's not quite the same. He says, in Egyptian, but since it's a film, you get subtitles. Because I'm not going to try to speak Egyptian, because I don't know it. But I imagine in the show version of this, he's speaking Egyptian to someone. He saw which direction you were coming from. And he says, I need you to double check all of the hotel guests staying over the weekend. Interestingly, I think we may have tempted exactly the visitors I hoped for. Yes. Yep, still room 304. Right. Yeah. And he hangs up and heads back on his way up the stairs. Room 304, interestingly enough, is the room number that was scratched on Megan's hastily done invitation. There is no one bidding on anything in particular. You're welcome. There is no one bidding on anything in particular. Like no one is like, I'm gonna get the whole collection of this. But I need Matthew to make a perception. Actually, do me a favor. Make 5 perception checks.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Just give me the totals, all of them.
Luckily, I have, for this game, I have 5 sets of dice set out.
You're welcome.
So, 1 for each of them.
Amazing.
Okay, 2 of those are cocked because, surprising nobody, rolling 5 dice into a tiny, tiny section of a dice box does not quite work. So, 2 of those are rerolls. Okay. I am actually going to use one of my procedural memories on one of these. That one I accept. It's a nat 20. And then on a different one of these, I'm going to use my second procedural memory.
Amazing.
And third one on that same one. Much better. Okay. I will take these. So, in order of top to bottom. Natural 20 for a 26. A 24. Another 24, a 25, and a 15.
Good God.
I rolled 2 18s, a 19, a 20, and a 9.
Holy shit.
But I did have to use 2 of my 6 procedural memories.
Good fucking God. All right.
Or
cool.
3, I think, actually. But still.
Cool. Amazing. Great. So, you notice that while some people are bidding on very strange things, like we're not talking things, again, it's
not like the notebook of this person that wrote. It's somebody's shoes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every time someone bids on something like that, and some of them you remember from those stamped cases, you're like, oh fuck, that was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The auction staff makes a note. There's one man only making notes in his clipboard and his notebook when those artifacts are claimed and by who. And he is making note.
Okay. I'm going to log him in my brain as a person to follow and assassinate later. No, just so I can follow them.
Evie is brought is allowed in to sneak in. He's clearly and again it's not like the hotel isn't being, they're not gassing you all in a chain, like you're allowed to, the hallway door is still open, like it's okay. You're able to slip in, and your paddle is handed to you at the door, and you are able to find a seat. The paddle numbers were not pre-assigned, they were handed out at random during the seating, which is unorthodox for and you have to assume there's some reason why this was done, but as Matthew might realize, as Gareth might realize, it is because none of this is a normal auction.
Nope.
They're less concerned with paddle numbers and officially who's getting what, as the very specific few people getting the things in those crates. Some of them are really subtle about it, too. Some of them are doing the very careful auction thing where they are fine without people knowing that they're bidding. And some people are, that, mine, I'll pay so much money. Like, but always about the very weird things. There's often bidding wars over the famous stuff. Like, right? Like Emily Bronte's Toy Soldiers. 2 people thought were interesting. And they were noted down. However, Emily Bronte's like first editions, there were like so many bidding wars over, and so many people wanted them,
Sure.
and were excited. But their names were not written down.
Yeah.
You have gotten lucky that you came, Evie, before any of the warehouse artifacts were meant to be claimed. However, before that, there is the auctioneer stops to take a sip of all the things, and probably water, possibly vodka, and they've entered the St. George part of the auction. People are bidding on early myths, early versions. They're bidding on jewelry, they're bidding on all sorts of things. There is an item of note, though. And Megan, is up to you if you decided that you knew that you should choose this, or if your university told you. The tools that Donatello used to carve his statue of St. George in Florence. No one else really seems to care. They don't consider it literary necessarily. It's more literary adjacent. A lot of people seem confused as to why they're on the list. But
yeah, that's for her. That's a present from me to me.
Amazing. I need you to make a Excuse me, Donatello used a staff or a computer. You're correct. I'm so sorry.
Correct.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Very
it's just a
happy
bow
with
staff
Yeah.
and a 1980s Apple.
Just stabbed it
Yep.
with. I need you to please make a. I wanna say there's not a auction check. There's not a bidding war check.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do this in a series of because there's one other person interested. And we're gonna do this in a series of contested rolls. So I first want you to make an intimidation roll. As you look at this gentleman from across the room, like, bitch, don't.
17.
3. Good job. All right, so
Bitch, don't.
one step closer. Ha! Yeah. I then need you to make, please, a sleight of hand check. If you're trying to not draw attention necessarily to that you are still bidding.
16.
15. Good job.
Ace.
I'm gonna have that fucking
are,
chisel, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna get that staff and computer.
Yeah, you are. And then I need you to please, just I'm gonna let you make a history check.
Dirty 20.
You stop yourself right before bidding an inordinate amount of money. Because you realize the tools they're offering are not the tools that were used to carve marble. And that they are... You put your hand down.
Yeah.
The other gentleman wins. And the next item is actually what you wanted. Which you win beautifully. You are the only one. That man wasted all of his money on the wrong thing.
When she figures out it's wrong, I'm gonna look around to see if there's someone in charge that she can make eye contact with and be like, fucking seriously?
Make me a perception check.
I don't think so, but...
What if she politely declines her perception check request?
0.
1.
Oh, a 1?
Minus
no.
1.
So 0, yeah.
0.
Yeah, she, yeah.
Being wise, kids.
Yeah, you see nobody, however, you have 1. And, Matthew, Gareth,
All right.
Gareth notices that, the name
her
is
name
added
gets
to
written
the
down?
list. Yeah. It
Okay.
wasn't during the bidding process. It was once she actually, and the other gentleman's was not.
Gotcha. Also, as a note, are there any fire alarms in this dining hall?
Yes.
Okay, I am clocking the location of the fire alarm, so that if I need to hover near, and I would like to hover near it when possible, in case I decide that I need to make an escape. That's it. You can go back to everything else.
You can hover, but you can tell this is a fancy place with, but like still children do events here. That
Sure.
it's not going to be a kind you can just pull. It's just a sensor.
Ah, fuck. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Never mind. Then I won't hover.
It is all good. Helene, there are many other interesting items. Lots of them. You in particular realize during the St. George collection that some of them are just bullshit.
Yeah.
Some of them are absolute nonsense. Like, those might have been Donatello's tools, but this St. George statue was marble, not bronze. And those were bronze working tools they were trying to sell you before. So you've realized a couple of things. But people seem very excited. Are there any other artists' works or literary interests that you personally or for the university have to try to bid on while you're there?
Because she sent for, she does a lot of Renaissance work, and she also has a master's in Shakespeare. So anything that related, she might be able to take a look at. But she's definitely, and she's keeping an eye on Jessica and what Jessica's, especially after the note. Like, now, something feels real weird and bad. And she's paying attention to what she's bidding on too.
Jessica has not bid on anything.
Hate that.
Yeah.
Okay.
In addition, spiking the interest of all 3 of you, the one item she does try to bid on, the one item everyone in the room tries to bid on, is William Shakespeare's Lost Folio. The reason the reason why it sparks interest for the 2 of you, though, is it is supposed to be in the warehouse.
Yep.
She just rolls her eyes. That they come around every year. Like
They're at every auction she attends.
Not even auction, just someone every year is like, we found the. No, you haven't.
Yeah.
You haven't found shit. All right, kids. We're
Out
good.
of curiosity, how much does it get sold for? Is it in the millions?
It is in the. We have a secret bidder on the phone.
We don't talk about this.
It is in the. We are getting handed slips of paper anonymously. They actually handled that bid a little bit differently. You do notice that Jessica hands in a piece of paper. But at this point is when people are on the phones. This is the big ticket item. This is the item that most of them are like, this is why. Okay, this is why I got set. This is why they were willing to pay so much money to sit through all this fucking. Then it's at the end of the night. Near the end of the night. I'm glad you brought that up. They were starting to offer Peter Pan, J.M. Barrie items when the auctioneer was tapped on the shoulder. He said, I'm sorry, apparently we are holding off on that particular exhibit for now, and we will revisit it at a later time. Some things need checking, so next, William Shakespeare. It was supposed to go up and be offered, and was shut down at a frantic wave and a tap and a whisper for some reason.
Is the person who tapped the auctioneer on the shoulder wearing a pin, tie pin, earrings, necklace,
and an earpiece
with the symbol on it? Got it.
Like a security earpiece that he's listening to as he whispers to this man.
Okay.
And shakes his head.
Can I take a look around and see if there's anybody else that is speaking into a security earpiece? I anticipate that it's somebody that's out in the cottage that we were just in, but if there's somebody here talking into it, can I give
no one talking into, but many people listening to.
Okay.
And would you like to, after that happens, stick around for the rest of the auction?
No.
You're gonna step out.
Yeah, I'll give it 2 minutes.
So
maybe.
You never see the Lost Folio situation happen.
Nope.
But
the thing I was sent to get here is not being auctioned, so now my job is steal it.
That was always your plan anyway. It's
yes,
fine.
It was.
He's like, why are we still here?
Literally, I could have stolen this 10 minutes ago.
You as the auction ends, Evie, I need you to make a wisdom check.
Ability to, I can, intelligence instead of wisdom.
Yes, great.
Nice.
So that's going to be 13.
There are, as you remember, several other warehouse artifacts here on the floor, and part of your plan was to try to bid on or get as many of them as you could. Do you, even without the pan, bid on any of the rest of them?
I don't want to bid on any of the other items. What I want to do is anytime I guess, do I notice that those special items the one guy's writing down?
You are focused on blending into the actual auction crowd, so you wouldn't be able to look around and check without being suspicious.
Okay. Since I
no, go.
Since I am pretty intelligent, is it possible for me to, like, almost photographic memory, like, the names of the people that did win those so that I can, like, or, like, each person?
You don't have names. It is you occasionally have paddle numbers, but remember their paddle numbers are not written down anywhere, so you can't like check a list later. Which is why he did it like that. Smart. The paddle numbers were randomized at entrance, but you can remember the paddle numbers that bought them, and occasionally you can see where they were sitting. I would say roll me a perception check. What? Was that a 17? I'm reading your lips. I can't actually. There we go. Okay, it's like I can't hear you, but I think I saw 17. Yeah, you catch about 6, 7 of them. That you can see without looking too suspicious, and that you can kind of catch. The auction begins to wrap up, and many people look very disappointed that they couldn't get what they wanted. Some people thrilled. Some people are already on the phone to their universities, their museums, their partners, their whoever. But slowly the gentleman with the clipboard is coming around to several of you, including Helene, with a business card sized invitation, about the size of the thing that was sketched. Said, you are invited to join. You're invited to join Mr. Asim in room 403 at your earliest convenience. And he's handed them to a few of you. It's the man with the clip. He has a clipboard. Matthew already left, so he doesn't know the same man, but this is a man with a clipboard who is handing specific things. He does not hand one to Jessica. However, she makes eye contact with you and winks, and then heads over to the bar to get her own drink.
I hate this. But, yeah. Oh, go.
I hate this. I love to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna, ditch the sweater.
Nice.
Though.
You're not the only one who heads up to room 403, curiously. But it's a much smaller group of you. You notice it is the people who bid on the oddities. The strange things. Mm-hmm. Gareth, where are you when all of this is happening? Have you already headed out? Are you already on your way out to the cottage?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. I once I left the room, I found somewhere to deposit the pitcher. And I am headed out to the cottage.
Alright. Helene is on her way up to room 403 with several other people who are, most of them don't seem concerned about this. Most of them are, yeah.
Hey, that is more.
Some of them look like you. Some of them are, the fuck did I do? But some of them are, yes, correct. Invite me to room 403.
Do I have cell service?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna open a text with my best friend in the world, whose name I have to look up because I just created him.
Isn't that the worst?
Yes.
It's my dearest friend.
When
the
I
love
literally,
of my life, whatever his name was,
literally,
Talon.
whenever I literally said my character's boyfriend's name wrong.
Amazing. Listen, no, I was talking about writing Fable's character thing, and I was like, I was like, yeah, and what's his name, Andrew's character? She goes, the love of her life, Talon. I was like, yes,
yeah.
her future, her partner.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
That guy. Like...
yeah, that motherfucker. So she's texting. It just says J-Dog on her phone.
Fuck both of you. You and J-Dog.
What? I was texting J-Dog, and she just says, just in case, and she drops a map pin of where she is.
Phenomenal.
Because this has
Clean.
big kidnap energy.
Yep.
She kind of wants to see where it goes. She also doesn't want to die.
Amazing.
Fair.
As that is happening and Gareth is planning his next move and Evie is planning their next move, we cut back to Claudia and Jackie, desperately trying to wake this poor coma victim up for the second time. She doesn't want to what?
Who's also unconscious but also crying.
Yes. I do it every night. I don't know, like, it's not unusual. So I'm fine. So she's located the spot where you got shot in the back. And she is able to, because it was like a tranquilizer that he hit you with. So she realizes
somehow missed my leather jacket, which might have saved me, but
yeah, but no. He's a real good shot. But also it was hot in the theater. People had started stripping clothes. Like you would yeah.
I was probably had it down.
Probably
like
in that exactly. And with that she just hope she forgives me for this. I would eventually forgive me for this, and she's a lot like me. And she just fucking hauls off and slaps you. It's not magical, it's not artifact related, it's just good old-fashioned trank. And she either can wait for it to get out of your system, or she could try to snap you the fuck out of it and then caffeinate you as soon as you're up.
Should I roll for Jackie's response move? She does do martial arts.
When she's unconscious?
Have you ever,
Yes, I'm married to Cody Stone. And you don't know him well enough to know, but yes. Meg does. Either way, what? She succeeds on her strength check, enough to, in fact, jolt you out of your comatose state. I need you, however, to make a wisdom saving throw. That is more important right now.
You. 9.
God. When you wake up, you still think you're in the memory play space.
Okay.
Hey, are you okay? What else did he do? What did he do to you?
Mid is she wakes up and is mid sentence yelling, "Stop! Don't take me away!" I can't go. They're gonna come back. I can't go. Leave me alone. Don't take me away. Continually yelling and flailing, and
she's grabbing you.
They're gonna come back. They're gonna come back. They're gonna come back.
Hey! Look at me.
More flailing.
She got you by the arms. Not well, by the way. Please make a. Oh no! I'm sorry. I need you to make a strength check, just base strength check.
8.
Oh, good. I'm just barely strong. I got a 10. That was not great. She just, hey, no. Whatever.
She starts hyperventilating a bit.
She tries to breathe with you. She in fact, she has one hand on the back of your head, and she grabs your other hand and forces it against her own chest. Because this is how she's had to slow panic attacks in herself before she...
And Jack, familiar with that, immediately starts going, in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Not exactly calmly, but at least she's...
enough.
Yeah.
I know whatever happens in that theater can mess you up. Trust me.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. And she's making eye contact with Jackie, it doesn't expect Jackie to, not Jack. Jack is making eye contact with Claudia, and with a lot of conviction, not trying to convince Claudia, to convince herself, it's not my fault.
Claudia stops her. Shh. No, it's not.
And then she kind of like stops and looks side to side and goes, "Where's Chase? Where's
That's not your
Where's
fault.
Fancy Head?
That's not your fault either.
The fuck?"
But it might be mine.
And she starts rubbing her back.
We have a lot to figure out, but mostly we have to see if he got out yet. Come on. And she pulls you to your feet. Are you in a good enough... Are you okay enough to help me track down and hunt a traitorous son of a bitch? Or do you need a minute?
She kind of takes a couple of wobbly steps and goes, "Not worse than a night of drinking. I think make it work."
Listen, I've got adrenaline shots that'll sober you up real quick if that's actually your problem right now. But if not, let's go.
Do that. Let's do the adrenaline. I should warn you, sensitive to stimulants.
Oh, this is gonna be fun for us. And she grabs you, and
It's still very wobbly, barely, like, very drunkenly leaning on you.
you notice that despite her haste, she is actually in a caretaking place. As she she's explaining to you what happened, all she can figure out with Chase, that he betrayed them, that she thinks he may have gotten out with some of the artifacts, that she thinks, because they told her there were artifacts for sale, and she hadn't got a chance to go check yet. She was about to. She has put together that the only way they could be missing is from him. So she assumes that he was part of the reason they got stolen, which means he's working with whoever is selling these artifacts. She has no idea who it is, but it's someone. She figured out that he was in this dig in Egypt, and this Egyptian cartouche started showing up. This is about when, last episode, she realized that something was not right, and he called, and revealed himself to be a traitor. She was on his trail, basically. And so she's filling Jackie in on whoever he's working for. I've never heard the term the Alexandria Collective, but if it has anything to do with the library we're in trouble.
I've never even heard of it, like, in the end, like, the underground things that, like, how I found out about you guys. Like,
trust me, if we haven't heard of it, you haven't heard of it. And that's what scares me, is we haven't heard of it.
That slimy motherfucker. And then she starts swearing up a blue streak.
Good, amazing. At which point she stabs you in the... While you're busy swearing so you don't notice, she just stabs you in the thigh with the adrenaline that she's grabbed from one of the kits on the... Yeah. Suck it up, let's go. And then...
So it takes a couple moments.
Yep.
Okay, let's do this. And takes off like chipmunk on speed.
Amazing. Fantastic. As the two of them head off to... She says, I have a couple places to check. As she starts to lead, she starts to take Jackie to the couple of places where she had set traps in motion, essentially. Security measures, all of which he seems to have evaded. They cannot find any sign of Dr. Chase. Claudia has begun swearing, is frustrated, is furious, is bordering on terrified at one point of what the fuck are they into? Who is this guy? As Helene is let into room 403 with the charming Frederick Assim sitting at the head of this. It is a beautiful suite. The bedroom portion is closed off. It is that living room sort of space. It's been turned into essentially a small cocktail party. And the charming gentleman Evie met downstairs is standing there. It says, honored guests, welcome all of you. I believe this is all we have joining us for the moment. We, Matthew, I believe this is all we have joining us for the moment. So, however, we have some unwelcome guests who have made their way to the auction this weekend. I'm having them dealt with presently. So I'll cut right to the sales pitch then. My name is Frederick Asim. I represent the Alexandria Collective. All of you are here for a reason. All of you are here because you have the discerning eye to bid on things of actual value. Things that matter historically, things that matter in greater ways. The company I represent have long believed, that we should be the sole, or at least even partial protectors of items like this. Items that some agencies use for their own gain or hide away from the world. A place called the Warehouse. My family and the ancestries before me long ago were protectors of our own sort of warehouse. We believe that had the warehouse agents allowed us to partner with them properly back at the Library of Alexandria, it would not have burned down, been destroyed, lost so much knowledge. You see a couple people in the room, because it's a literary convention, who physically ache at the reminder of the Library of Alexandria burning, because it still hurts! We believe, the Alexandria Collective, that those gifts, items like the ones you won, for instance, I'm actually gonna, Meg highs or lows?
Hi.
Hi. Nope. Okay, sorry, low. So it's not yours, it is someone else's artifact. Items like yours, in fact, and he pulls, a couple of them have already been brought up. They've slowly started moving them from the cottage to the interior during the course of the during the course of the auction. And he pulls out the Bronte sisters' toy soldiers. Pulled out. Seems like just a toy. But you, madam, knew it for more, didn't you? And he looks at the woman who bid on it, and she is one of the ones who looks very calm. And she says, I've heard stories about them, yes? Care to demonstrate? And see, places two of them equidistant apart on the table. And, claps. And they spring to life. Really to life. And they start screaming at each other as though they are really in a war and they are really in a battle. And he places a third one, and they set to fighting, and it sounds like tiny little swords and bayonets and all of these, and one of them actually shoots the other one. He actually falls over and starts to bleed, and he's up. And they freeze again. They attributed the Bronte sisters' imagination to just gifts of God. They had some help from toys like these, though. Of course, that is simply, and he wraps them back up again, that is simply a trinket, a trifle. There are larger things. There are things that can do that to people, that can do much more. Things, and he's looking at all of you, that made history, that carved memory and were imbued with something so spectacular that it should never fall into the hands of those who would simply let it waste away and hide. No, it should be used to protect the knowledge of the world. My company aims to become that power, rather than the people who call themselves the Warehouse. Now, all of you have a choice as discerning folk. You have a week to decide if you would like to join my company and help me hunt down and collect these items, take them away from the hands of those who would selfishly hold them, give them back to the people, let them live their best purposes. Or you can forget any of this happened, be allowed to go back about your lives, and never you mind about the worries of the library and the warehouse. Until then, please enjoy the food and the drink. I'm here if you have questions, but I will have to shortly go deal with a petty little nuisance who is currently He checks his phone. Breaking into my cottage. It's fine. But he takes his time. He doesn't rush. He doesn't race out. He just takes a drink. A couple people approach him with questions. Meg, you can hear him answering things of, oh yes, my grandfather was actually in possession of that. It saved his life twice. It saved his, and he is, the way he talks about it, it's like he has deep memory of actual Library of Alexandria. Like, he's seen floor plans. Like, he speaks of it like it was his family's. And, but with a passion that only comes from a little bit of an arrogant scholar. How much of a dick do I want to be?
Yes.
Yes. Do you approach him? Do you go talk to him?
I'm hovering. I'm in his periphery.
As you are in his periphery, Evie, what are you doing? Watching Matthew disappear behind the fucking microphone made my goddamn night. That was so funny.
So, when obviously everything disperses, is everyone leaving? Is everyone?
People are instructed. Everyone who was not invited to the special room was instructed to,
fuck out.
Instructed to pay up, apparently, to like cash out at the end of the night. The directions were going to some of the smaller auction items are handed off directly, or will be, or some of the larger ones must be shipped, but they are obviously welcome to come and check their authenticity. We have staff on hand to help. We have certificates of authenticity. You are welcome to check the legitimacy of any of this at your leisure. The rest of the weekend is essentially going to be, they know that there's doubt, especially with the first folio thing, and no one knows who won it, by the way. No one has any clue. No one will talk about it, because that's someone who's gonna get shanked in the yard, and stabbed for a Shakespeare. I would. So yeah, the doors have been opened back up. There are no drinks, but a dance floor has been laid out now. They basically switched the room. They changed it over while the outside was outside. And now it's a dance floor. There's a band that's been brought in. All of this is very... This man has rented out the whole place for the weekend, and damn it, he's going to use it and enjoy it.
Was it noticeable that they handed out those big ticket items people to the cards to those people, and that they left relatively at the same time?
Make a perception check. So usually a lot of chaos at the end of an event like that, so let's see if you found it, if you figured it out.
I'm gonna use one of my daily rolls. I have the ability to switch out.
Yes.
I rolled a natural one.
Oh, no. Yeah, you might as well use it. All right.
I'm definitely gonna use one of my. I'm gonna mark that off. So that makes it. You said perception.
Yep.
Okay, that's gonna be 18.
Phenomenal. You do notice. You notice that some people were, and you did, because you clocked so many of them who were bidding on the warehouse items, that several of them are the ones who are invited. These are people who have just bid on and successfully won warehouse property that should have been in the warehouse. And you have noticed them. You have taken fucking note.
How well? I really wish Gareth were here right now.
You got this. You got this. Gareth trusts in you.
Like can I have like maybe pick up a book in the lobby or something and have my head buried into it and kind of like
Yeah.
take track of what's
Yeah,
going
I'll
and
let you
below?
blend. I'll let you. It's a library convention. There's books fucking everywhere. They're just books. Yeah, go nuts. You can absolutely sync and notice, and you watch people go upstairs. You are watching as it was during the auction that the big items were moved from the cottage into Mr. Asim's meeting room. You have no idea where Gareth is, but you also have no reason to believe that the artifacts are anywhere else. You also think that they're in the cottage. None of you saw them got moved. You were all in the auction room. So you're just watching as people mingle. You're watching as some people head upstairs. No one has come down yet. I just enjoy giving Matthew a heart attack. It's fun.
Obviously, I know getting into the cottage and getting things, at least for me, is not possible.
Yeah.
Can I follow the people that I know got those big items upstairs?
Yeah.
As unobvious as possible.
Yeah. You do not have. You see that they have to show their card at the door to show that. Yes, I was invited to room 403. You do not have one, so you cannot go in.
But I can see what room.
But you can see what room they're in. Yeah. As the door closes. Meg, do you approach?
Yeah.
Ah, the young lady who purchased the right set of tools, I believe. I noticed you almost fell for my little trap for taste, didn't you?
Yeah, it was Dick. She holds a hand out. Yeah, Helene Evers.
Frederica Sim. Pleasure.
Dua. So, sorry, this is just a lot to take in.
I believe it.
Yeah. So this company of yours, you want us to help you track stuff down, and
I actually know where quite a lot of it is. It's more acquiring it. And if there is quite a bit still missing. But, it would be, well, mostly what you did here, should you choose to join me. You're sent to acquire things, and,
auction? Like, just go bid on things?
It's usually a little more hands-on than that, actually. I recently had an operative who actually collected quite a few of these items from, the place they were being hidden. He was very good.
Operative? I'm sorry, you just used the word operative. You do understand I'm an academic, right?
So was he, a doctor, in fact. Very...
At least doctors know how to stab people.
I have yet to meet an academic who was not fully prepared and capable to stab someone. What exactly is it that is your hold-up? Is it the fact that this place exists, or the fact that we rub up against your delicate sensibilities?
I don't really have a lot that's delicate.
He looks you up and down and smirks a little bit and then puts his hands behind his back and just...
Stop, don't do this to me. I'm a good person. Think of Donatello. Think of him and his keyboard. Okay.
Think of Donatello! My question for you is this.
Yeah.
You bid on the St. George items.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
That's a personal focus of yours.
It's the subject of my dissertation at the moment, yes.
So you know historically the importance of the legend.
Yes. It occurs in multiple countries. Yeah.
I think there's there's the myths of the flood. And the working theory is that the Ark actually existed in some shape or form, and that's why the story got passed through so many places. Every major religion or country has a legend of the flood. It's not always Noah or the Ark, but they do have a flood myth.
Yes.
Just as everyone has a St. George legend, or most everyone. Don't you think it would be fascinating to find the actual weapons that inspired it, or the actual helmet, or the actual, if such a thing existed, that inspired so many stories for literary and historical value? Even before I told you there was the possibility of it having real magic. Wouldn't that be worth your time to hold in your hand at least once?
I can't say that's wrong. This is my thing, right? Just because someone knows or can spot that an artifact is worthy, I'm not entirely sure why you're using that as a basis for people that you're going to send out into the field and acquire stuff. Question: how much security is in this room right now?
If I told you that,
No, it's just Megan asking.
This is Megan asking. Okay, sorry.
Just Megan asking. I'm sorry.
Yeah. None that you have clocked specifically. Okay. It's just him as far as people, but you are sure that there's cameras or people on call immediately.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, it doesn't, just because someone can spot that something's worthy, doesn't necessarily mean that they have the stones or the gumption or hell, even the physical ability to be able to get what it is you need. Now, for instance, if you asked any of us or vetted any of us on physical prowess or, well, kind of like, and she's just going to clock him in the nose.
He is going to, I would like you to make a contested roll, please.
Please.
Make me spit take.
Maybe I will later. I need to look at something. I can do stupid stuff. Okay, I add Dex to it instead. So this is a what?
Make a, it's going to be a, I'm gonna say strength. Are you strength? Whatever your fighting skill is.
Yeah, I replace all strength with Dex. So
amazing. Please roll me that. Oh.
So like a save?
Just a check. I'm making the save.
Okay. What'd you get?
Natural 20.
Oh yeah. Fuck. I'm not making the point I thought I was. I was 11.
You punch. Are you right-handed?
For this one, it's left.
Okay. As you go to punch, he does the grab and swipe and pull you closer.
Yeah.
And leans in and says, "Darling, I vetted every single person who's walked on this property. I knew your strengths and weaknesses before you set foot on the plane to get here. Trust me, everyone who is invited here has a chance to become what I need, but some of you are already much closer. In any case, not everyone has to be a field agent." He lets you go as his phone begins to ring.
She is blushing. I'm not even. Nah, that was.
Welcome to Endless Wonder, the campaign of charismatic British villains. Just like in the show. So
Just gonna reach over and grab like some crudité off the table.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah.
That was okay.
That was okay. He.
You guys gotta make a really good pitch for me, by the way. So I'm not gonna. This may be my last episode.
His phone has begun to ring. As a matter of fact, no. He's holding you close when his pocket starts to buzz. He says,
"Oh.
Speaking of field agents, that'll be Dr. Chase." And he lets go. "Excuse me." And he excuses himself from the room. Evie, I need you to make a, or do you still have your book? Are you still up there? Okay. I need you to make a stealth check with advantage. Because he is distracted for the moment. He is on a fucking call.
Can I also be, before I roll it, can I also be, like, in the stairwell?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%, 100%.
Thank God, I got us in. First one was a 10, second one was an 11. So it's going to be a total of 13.
You hear him talking to someone on the phone. Doesn't sound like he's coming near you. He's got his back turned to you. If you peek around. But he is speaking to say he's closed the hotel door behind him. He says, "Ah, yes, Dr. Chase. No, exactly the items we thought would draw attention, in fact. No, I haven't brought it. Oh, no, your little friends are very, very... No, yes, of course. Of course I will double your fee. What do I care that you got hurt on your way out? That was your fault. Fine. In any case, would you like to come help me deal with your little friends?" And he turns and looks right at you. "Agent? Marin's, was it?" And he clicks the phone off. And we are going to end the night there.
No! No!
Oh no.
Oh no! Oh yes.
Uh-oh.
He's my new favorite villain I've ever made. Because in my mind, a really charming, clever villain is way more fun. But also, Megan made a good point of, y'all better make a really good pitch. Because...
Really, oh god, I was about to have sex with that man in a room full of, like, 12 of my peers.
You're welcome. You have no peers in that room. You're better than all of them. So welcome to our first Big Bad Villain arc. Welcome to the Alexandria Collective. In the lore of the show, by the way, gonna fill you guys in on a little stuff for behind the curtaining. The original Library of Alexandria was built to be, it became a regent hideaway. However, Alexander the Great thought it was going to become the site of Warehouse 2. It was not. Warehouse 2 was built elsewhere in Egypt, but still in Egypt. Friedrich Asim and his companions, mostly Friedrich, are descendants of the original protectors of that library, and truly believed that the world would be better if they were the ones in charge of the warehouse, and that perhaps they would not have lost so much knowledge if they were. They will go to any means, however, to reclaim what they believe is theirs and their power. So, welcome to the Alexandria Collective. I had fun. Did you all?
Yeah.
Our scene ends with her being caught, him knowing that Gareth is on his fucking way or trying to break into the... He's already aware. Helene has no idea she's even in the fucking game yet. And at least Jackie's awake. And she and Claudia are gonna go find some shit.
Mm-hmm.
At least I did not end this session unconscious.
To be fair, I
was
not gonna give you the chance. If I'd not been able to wake you up with that slap, that would have been the rest of the episode, just trying to wake you up. I can't have you end that many episodes just unconscious. It's happened. If I had a nickel for every time I've been left unconscious at the end of Endless Wonder, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
Exactly.
We've only had 4 episodes, so that's half the time. I spent 50% of this campaign. Anyway,
right, yeah.
So...
And not just unconscious, but in horribly traumatic memories.
You're welcome. So... Therapy. I don't know how to spell, but we're gonna raid Blondie. How's everybody doing, though? Everyone okay?
Yeah. My heart is racing from that fucking cliffhanger. Oh, my.
I do that a
wow.
lot
I know.
in these sessions because I only make them 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I
I
cut off
had
like
to go
right
have a
at 2.
decompression with my husband after the game.
Sorry
I
about
had to
it.
be like, okay, I have to talk to you about this. I know you don't care or know anything about it, but I need to talk to you about
Oh, I have one of the games that people have to go talk to their spouses and partners about. My dream.
it.
Hell yeah.
I bug Cody about Vampire every time he's at it, and I'm like, I have to tell you something that happened today in Blood. Guess what Siren did? Like, guess what Jem did? Fuck, Matthew's gonna get us all killed. Like, it just like all those things all the time. Never, you know, character Jace. It's always Matthew's gonna get us killed.
Oh, it's always me. Yeah.
Specifically. But we'll be back next Wednesday. Welcome back, everyone, to Endless Wonder. Until next time, be cool.